the Menace. Menace II Sobriety.
How was yours? And where were you on your journey when you went in?
Oh, man. So, I had no idea because, I mean, look, I didn't watch it after, literally. I've never really watched the show as such. I've never been an avid. I think when they first did it, like maybe Dane was on one of them and Bez. I was offered to go like 4 or 5 times in the past. Always been in the mix and got picked at the last minute. So we've got Bez has come on, or someone else from the music industry had come on. So anyway, I was actually working for the NHS at the time, and I was working in.
And you were clean when you went in there, yeah? And all
Yeah. I was working in very tough environment. It was working with people with multiple complex needs, which is like mental health issues, substance abuse, criminality, homelessness, a whole range of needs, complex needs. And our job was to work quite closely with them, try and improve their lives by, signposting and putting people in the right direction, and hopefully maybe, contacting some of the services they need to make them feel better. So on the back of that, I was in burnout, and we discussed that earlier. Burnout is overstimulated. It means there's too much going on. Like you just said about looking at your social media all day long.
Killing me, yeah.
The end of the day, you're brain dead.
Yeah.
And it's worn out.
Yeah.
So that's what burnout. And I was burnt out emotionally, spiritually, because I was dealing with people's emotions and people's,
It was drawing your feel-good factor. It was drawing your good vibes out of you, yeah.
So I went into that house like that, and I was like, and they was expecting Brandon and Nutter, and I said, he's gone, mate. And then the show's psychologist, turns out, was a fan from back in the day, an old raver maybe. He said, "Oh, Brand, I can't believe you're in this show." And he said, "But you're..." And they come and see you like beforehand to make sure you're compos mentis enough. And he came to see me in the room and he went, "What have you been doing?" I said it about the job, and he went, "Oh my God." He said, "I couldn't even do that." He said, "I don't know how you're going to cope in here."
Yeah.
I can see you're going through, and I was going through my self-therapy at the time. I was trying to build myself up. I was drained.
Yeah. But so, it's tricky because even the therapists are in there. The therapists are there to check you're right, but the producers want you to be fucked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, it's such a hard medium. They're like, right, is he fucked? Yeah, but he's not too fucked, is he? No, he's just fucked enough.
Yeah.
That's
and
what they're like.
I think I was overfucked.
Yeah.
He said to me each day, he said, "Look, you'll have to see me each day." I said, "I'm going to see you each day." And I was like, he said, "Have you stopped smoking?" I said, "I have." He said, "Get yourself 200 Marlboro Lights before you go in." And like straight like the second day, I was like,
you needed it. You need it in there.
And then, and after about 2 weeks, and I was still struggling to calm my anxiety. And I didn't know who I was. I was thinking, I'm doing this work outside, which is really, quite tough. And I'm coming here, and I was thinking, do I need to? I want to be on telly again? Am I?
What am I? Am I Brandon Block?
Or am I
DJ? Or am I a new personality? What am I?
Yeah, exactly. So I was lost. And you're so aware, by the way. I love your intuition.
Thank you.
Bang on, mate. You can help a lot of people. And he said to me, "Look," he said, "I can't see you do this to yourself. I'm not on telly." He said, "You need..." And he said, "Do you want me to call anyone?" And in hindsight, I should have said yes. My best pal, who was sitting monitoring all the social medias and all that stuff, he said I was like way ahead in polls and stuff. And he said, "If you'd have rung me, I'd have said stay in there, whatever." So anyway,
did you pull yourself out?
I had to go. I was like, it was hard work.
Yeah.
And I changed because I loved the experience, and I loved being in amongst the people. I knew a lot of people in there, quite friends with, still stay in contact.
Yeah.
And he said, "Look, you can go out the back door. You don't have to make a big drama about it." So I said, I think it's best if I...
It's hard. It's really hard because you lose the money. Obviously, the money.
Well, yeah.
The money's a big thing. You lose the money, and that's what motivated me to stay in there. But the real tough thing about Big Brother and going into that environment is if you have anything big going on in your mind, you have the fucking time, space to think about it, and because time just rolls on and on and on, and you don't know what the time is, and they create conflict in there. You can feel yourself being fucking watched, and you're watching yourself. The big thing is you start noticing your own behaviour. Really, you start noticing your own.
Totally.
And you start checking yourself. Oh, am I being too much? And then also the thing is that you are in there. You are constantly thinking, how am I being portrayed? How am I being portrayed?
Absolutely.
And then you hear that door open, and they all cheer when your name is, or if you get some booze or something. Then you got another week to fucking go. Fucking hell! What, they found out I had a wank in the toilet or what? you know what I mean? What the fuck? I had a bash in there, do you know what I mean? And after, it was the worst thing I'd ever done because I fucking... I did, man.
I saw that episode, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I went, honestly, they got the toilets out the back, right? And what the worst thing about it was I'll just tell you this story, I might as well. But the worst thing about it was, I was thinking to myself, fuck me, I ain't had a wank in like 8 days. And I was like, I can feel the tension building. It's the longest I'd got it in my life since I was about 14 without having a bash, without spunking. It was about 8 days or something. And I was fucking vibrating on the bollocks. And I was like, maybe this is making you know what it's like, right? Plus whatever, Anne Widdecombe was walking around in like a negligee, and I was like getting weird semis and that. It was bad. But one of the lads in there, I won't name any names, so I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but one of the lads in there said, turn on the taps. You know, because they got microphones in the toilets, haven't they?
Of course
they got microphones in the toilet. So the last thing you want is the guy to go, day 54, and you're... that was in the toilets, like, do you know what I mean? So I was in there, and he said, turn on the taps and they won't hear you. I said, you fucking... But he didn't, because they're listening to everything, so he just went in and he went, turn on the taps. And I was like, what are you talking about, bro? And he go, turn on the taps. So I was like, oh, all right, okay, I get it. I go, you test it out then. So he went in there and he come out and he was like, yeah, but then the girls that were cleaning the toilets, they come out and they announced. So I went, it smells of spunk in the toilets. Oh. Right? So, but everyone was like, they were like, somebody's had a wank in there. And because I knew, I was like, aha! And they was like, looked at me and I was like, fuck. No, it weren't me. So then it was like even more anxiety about doing it. So I thought, oh, I know what I'm going to do. They got Johnny's in the outside toilet, the one in the thing. I thought, I'll have a posh wank, innit, right? Because then they won't be able to smell it. So, but what I used, but they don't have locks on the doors. So I went to the other one, and what I done is I took the bin outside and I put it outside the door to show that I was in there, so no one would walk in. Then I fucking got the Johnny and that, and then I realised I put the bin outside, and I'd fucking tried to flush the fucking thing, and it wouldn't go down.
And you couldn't get out anyway.
So I had a jumper on like this. So I took the thing out and I put the Johnny and I had it in there. And then I walked out on the counter. I was like, no. Got the bin and I was like, fucking. And then for fucking days and days, I'm like, is that on the telly, bro? Is that on the fucking telly? But it never come out.
Oh my God. Well, it has now.
Oh shit. But yeah, so
I don't remember. Do you see?
Yeah.
That's a blur to me. Like
Yeah.
that. I can't remember the toilet outside. Where was that? That was in. See, I
say not the toilet outside, but there's another room, isn't there? Where the bathroom is.
Yes.
And all
Oh
that.
God, yes. The little. I did. Yes.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. What used to get me with that is people trying to make you say stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like people come and go, oh yeah, so in there, like sitting down, like other geezers, like normal geezers come and go, oh yeah, so what's your opinion on the LGBT community? I'm like, what the fuck you asking me about that for? Like this is not a normal conversation. And like those situations where people are in there trying to raise their fame when I was just in there for a bit of fucking dough, and you're like, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't remember. See, 'cause I was in such a place. I don't remember. That was a whirlwind of an experience. You know? I mean, I actually realised that there was one point. Excuse me again. And they shut. Did they ever shut the screens on the doors to the outside?
Yeah.
Overcome with like
Claustrophobia.
Oh,
yeah,
mate.
Yeah, it's bad enough anyway in there.
I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't see any light. It was like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I just had my father had just died, and I just had a daughter, and I had this overwhelming feeling of guilt and like ego. Like I was like, I'm in here trying to repair my career and make a bit of money, and my missus was outside and I thought, what's going on in the press? And I kept going up to the diary room and saying, how's my daughter? And they're like, you know, we can't tell you about what's going on. I'm like, what's going on in the press? And I couldn't handle that, and I had some breakdowns, but I got through it. But I'd never do it again.
I think for me, in the mindset, I think I would probably like to do that experience again.
What now?
Yeah, I could do it now. I mean, I'm in a much better place than I was back then. It wasn't the best timing, let's say, to come out of doing that job and straight in there, because it was literally a week before finding out.
Yeah,
and
your mind was filled.
It was horrendous. It was gone through it was like, you know, I can't describe what the anxiety was like, but all learning experiences, mate. And you know, I went straight to the kebab shop. They got me a taxi home, and I went straight to the kebab shop next to my local pub, which I used to go in because my mate used to go and watch the footy. And I went and stood by the bar, and I'm looking at the telly, and Big Brother's on, and they're all going. It's literally been half hour since I was just on the telly. Yeah. Oh, so they was all going, what you do? I was going, yeah.
Menace to sobriety. Just a menace, just a menace. Just a menace. Menace to sobriety.